You forgot. You've had a long day, haven't you?
Oh God, it's been so hot.
Not that hot today.
Long, hot, sweaty. You think you were on a race or something?
Long, hot, sweaty. Okay, I don't want to hear it
You
anymore.
think
No, that's
you were
enough.
on
That's
a
enough.
race or something?
That's enough. That's enough.
Anyway,
That's
too
enough.
much information.
Yeah, long, hot, and sweaty.
Amazing Race Canada with
Gord.
Gord and Wayne. Season 8.
Episode 2.
There you go. Right.
Ah.
Starting off in Quebec.
Yeah, don't say that long.
Huh?
They don't stay in Quebec that long.
No.
Montreal,
About as long as we did our intro.
Pretty much. And then they get a thing to go to Calgary, where
Calgary.
again they don't stay there that
No.
long. They're like
Basically
at the airport and then some sort of parking
jump in a
structure.
car and run off to Lethbridge.
Go to Lethbridge for a couple hours.
Yeah,
It's not that far. And what did they do in Lethbridge?
Lethbridge, they had
Fort Whoop Up and
basically herd or hoot.
right.
So they had to either, if they did hoot, they got to go and identify seven different owl voices, and then imitate those back, and then label them correctly in order to get their next clue.
And only 2 teams did that.
Only 2 teams. That's true.
Yeah, and they were working together.
Yeah.
So the brothers and the is it the uncle and the
I think so.
yeah, uncle and nephew. So the only 2 teams did that, and the other ones did the
Everybody else did herd.
I don't know. That would have been a tough choice.
You don't know what you're doing when you pick, right? It's like, should we do this? Do the other. So herd, of course, you've got a whole pile of goats, bunch of little goats, kind of like us, and you got to figure out how many. They all have different colored bandanas with numbers on them.
Yep.
And you got to add up the numbers and get the right answer.
Yep. And then the producers played a mean trick on the.
Yeah.
And they said they had 2 of the same numbers. Ooh, hosters.
And
Tricky.
of course, a lot of times they thought, no, we've already counted that one. No, we've already not, and they just kept missing it.
Nope.
Until eventually somebody figured it out.
Never take things for granted in the race. That
count everything.
Count everything.
I think the clue to that one was count how many bandanas. Don't worry about the numbers. Count the number of bandanas first. Then figure out how many.
I think since it was since it's a math test, we're good at numbers. Yeah. I mean, you're married to a math teacher.
Yeah, if I failed that one, I'd be in trouble.
Yeah, she would divorce you, or she would teach you how to do it correctly.
Yeah,
but I think we're good at numbers.
Remedial math.
Yeah, we're good at doing numbers. So I think that one, instead of doing the owls, but the owl guys, they were sort of like in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who gets it done first? See, it's been a long time.
Man. See, we got to do this more often, but
anyway, they traditionally have to go. They're in Lethbridge.
They're in Lethbridge.
Oh, I think it's between Frenella, or one of the top 2 teams, and the Inuit team.
Yeah.
And I think those are the 2 teams that come out of there quick, and other teams are stuck. Not
the
counting.
Ones who did the herd first? I think it was Frank and Noah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
I don't remember which team did the owls first, but they pretty much did it. Once the one did it, the other one basically told them what the answer was.
Yeah, they helped each other. Helped each other. And that's good.
That's the second time they've actually done that.
Well, they were smart because they know they have 3 express passes, and said if we help them, and
they're looking for.
They're gonna give us something, and I think that's gonna work well.
I think it will. Yeah, and that's the second time they've kind of worked together. So
so I think
that's worked well.
There's an alliance, and there's other people making alliances through the race, and sometimes that works, and sometimes that doesn't. Yeah,
but eventually you have to turn on your alliance at some point, unless somebody else does for you.
You're gonna turn on everybody, man. That's the way it is.
That's just
it's a game. It's not you're turning on people. It's a game, and you can be friendly.
People sometimes take that personally, and then it's like, why? That's the whole point. Anyway,
I would try to kick your ass if we were in different teams in the race, even though you were my friend.
If we were, but if we were on different teams, you'd be behind me, so it wouldn't matter.
Well, I'd be behind you, stabbing you. You just walked into that one.
Stab you in the back when my daughter trips you.
And then my daughter does her jujitsu thing. Anyway,
he's not wrong.
No, that's
exactly what he do.
That's how it plays out.
Yep.
So then Lethbridge, and after they do that test, they do, like in Montreal, it's something very traditional to Lethbridge. I always do this when I go to Lethbridge. I always go to Subway.
Always go to Subway.
Especially that Subway in Lethbridge, because it's some sort of special Subway.
I have no idea why, but I think that's the second time they've been to that Subway, isn't it?
It could have been.
Weren't they in a Subway in a different leg or something?
I
like a different season.
Oh, because Subway is one of the sponsors, so
Yeah.
let's go to Subway and
Subways are good subs, but basically it's a grocery list run.
yeah,
So
go
you
get
gotta go get rather like tomatoes, cucumbers,
some veggies,
onions, and something.
something vegetable-y.
Yeah. Anyway, 4 different types of vegetables, numbers of vegetables at 3 different farms, if I remember correctly.
And sure, Lethbridge is a farming area.
Yep.
So I sort of that part, but just a basic. Let's promote the let's promote the sponsor for the next 10, 15 minutes.
Yep.
As they team. And I noticed.
I mean, if they sponsored us, we'd have a sub right here. Just saying.
I'm always looking for sponsors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody?
If we could get a beer sponsor, we'd have their beer.
Yeah. Anybody want to sponsor us? We're here for you. Check my email on the whatever. Let's stop pitching for sponsors. Let's got to talk about. So
Anyway,
while teams are doing the vegetable stuff, other teams are still figuring out the.
Still figuring out herds, still figuring out the owls. A couple of teams are there already doing the Subway run, get their vegetables, get it all together, bring it all back to Subway. Here's your clue, and here's a sub. So everybody
gets a
little bit of food.
Get a foot long, and they're drinking the
guru drink.
The guru drink. Well, chaos is breaking up behind me. It's in their neighbors.
Wild neighbors.
Wild dogs.
Yeah.
Someone's having a party.
And then after that was
another great thing for Lethbridge. I always think about that in Lethbridge is virtual reality.
Roadblock. Yeah.
Why? Can't you do? The first tasks were connected to Lethbridge.
Yes. Even the Subway had some connection with the farms in Lethbridge.
But then
the virtual reality had zero connection.
And
unless maybe they made it there. I don't know. Maybe they made that game there.
I doubt it.
I don't think so.
No, it's just some guy's thing. They showed up in Lethbridge, say, "Hey, where can we go?" And they set it up. I mean, there's lots of cool things to do in Lethbridge besides go play in a virtual reality thing.
They get their little VR controls, and they're playing Rhythmatica or something like that, and they got to get like 90%. Which basically, things are fired at you, and you got to kind of hit them in order, get into the beat. And some of them did very well.
Oh yeah.
And some of them had to do it a number of times to get to it. It would have been fun. I think it would have been fun to do. I think it would have been stressful. I think because when you're doing it, I mean, first off, once you get that mask on, the VR masks and everything, you're kind of like blinded, really, because you don't know what you're doing. And you got to get into that whole rhythm of it, obviously. I think, I don't know whether we do good at it or not.
I think over time we would figure it out. Yeah. I think other teams that started pretty low, over time they would get a little bit higher. And it didn't seem like it took them hours to get it right.
No.
I mean, the team would have been there. If they were there for a half hour or an hour, I would have been shocked.
Yeah, I
mean, they were probably longer at the goat herding thing.
Yeah, the goat herding thing, I would have been interesting to find out how long teams were at.
Yeah.
The virtual reality one was, if they were there 30 minutes, I'd have been surprised.
Yeah.
Really
shocking.
There was 1 or 2 teams, I think, that did it almost as soon as they got it. They did it the first time and they were out.
Yeah.
Probably not us. We probably would have had to do twice. Whichever one of us
to get it right. I think we would just build up and maybe hit 50.
I think part of it is just getting that, I mean, for me, it's almost like I want to see the whole thing first. Oh, now I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, got to figure
would
out
have slowed us down, and he, sat me in the back. I wouldn't even see it coming that time.
No,
not at all.
Well, you see me coming in like virtual.
And then, of course, after the roadblock, get your next clue, and you're driving off.
Waterton.
Prince of Wales Hotel.
Prince of Wales, really nice place.
It is a really nice place.
I'm glad they went there, and I hope they stayed in Waterton because it's a really nice place.
It would have been a nice idea.
Yeah.
Except that it was not a stay.
No, I mean Francanella, they team number 1, and I had a sense they're going to be they were either going to be team number 1 or the last team because they had something about their lives, about how their mother inspired and things like that. When teams do that, it's either the first team or the second team, and the last team I believe was Court and Alley. And Court talked about 60 scoops and things like that. So you're going, ooh. So they're sort of
frame the
telegraphing it again, like something's important going to happen to these guys because we want to talk about them, and something important is going to happen to these guys because when they talk about them, and everybody else is just here and there. So
basically, it was an ongoing leg. They stop. Here's your next clue. Off you
move
go.
on. Yeah.
No, from
Which
there
is-
they're heading. I think they're heading into BC next.
Stay in Waterton, man. Like,
Why
they
not?
said
There are
Fernie.
things to do.
Well, Fernie, you can drive to Fernie
Yeah.
from Waterton, and I hope
Yeah.
they're driving because it's a nice drive.
I would hope so.
Yeah, but there's a few things I noticed about this episode where every time we saw teams in the car, they're just describing where we're going to Subway. We were just at Subway. We're going back to Subway, and it's just
It was a lot of promotion.
there's a lot of talking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
what we are actually doing instead of like
Actually doing it?
or showing, trying to have some personality.
Yeah.
I mean, even one team started singing "Oh Canada," which was like, oh god. Yeah, but stop and pull over and stand up straight then.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let a few teams go by.
It was almost like some sort of, you can see the guy, the cameraman or the soundman going like, hey, why don't you sing "Oh Canada" for us? Okay, we'll sing "Oh Canada" for us.
Maybe.
Yeah, I could
Maybe
just-
that's
I
what
could see-
maybe they were prompted.
Are we going, or where are we going? Are we going back to Subway? We're going back to
Go
Subway.
back to Subway. Yeah, stop saying that. Single Canada.
Yes. Yeah, can you sing "Oh Canada"?
No,
'Cause
badly.
just seemed
So,
so
that's
wasn't my
pretty much it.
favorite episode.
No, and it's still a developing episode, I think. We're not really getting any personality from the teams.
Well, I mean,
The challenges, not overly challenging.
no,
you know.
for it's supposed to be all these physical teams, and it's kind of like, when are we going to start climbing mountains, Or
into
carrying-
something.
bricks, or doing something that's
Physical?
physical and competitive?
Yeah.
in a sense, and the rest is just kind of.
So
I'm
anyway,
just-
so that's pretty much it. I
that's
mean,
it.
you
It's
know,
I think it's because
kind of a quick review, and
it's
kind of everything just played out kind of meh.
yeah, it's meh.
Yeah.
Because I mean, yeah, because I'm saying the teams probably are really nice and personable,
Mm-hmm.
but some of it is not coming across.
We're
on
not getting
TV.
we're not getting a lot of the interaction, and maybe we've still got 9 teams, and maybe getting all that together and editing that together. They're not giving us that interplay between the teams.
No,
We're not even getting the interplay within the team.
yeah, I mean,
You know,
it takes us usually a while to figure out who the teams are, but usually by now we usually know 3 or 4 teams, but a lot of them going like, who are those guys?
Yeah.
Where's that team? So
that's it.
that's it.
There's our review of episode 2,
2.
season 8,
Yeah.
Amazing Race Canada.
Take it easy.